in the hole. The fire is in the hole. All right. Here we go. Oh, wait. Yeah. You know, as always, just bear with me. March 16th, 2019, daily candle close. So, we had a day. We're still having a day. It's not over just yet. We did hit a high earlier in the 40-38 zone. We hit a low. Well, our low was open of the candle close. So somewhere in the 38.93, 39.01 area. Ballpark-ish. Something like that. So, here's the 1 minute, the 5 minute, and the 15 minute. We're starting to come back a little bit from this last little drop down, the 39.78 ballpark area. We did hit a low early, a significant candle after doing sideways trading. Not much happening over here. I'll show you the hourly in just a minute, and then we'll head over to the daily when the time is right. But right now we're clocking in 4 minutes, 30-something seconds until we close this candle out. 4:25 in that ballpark. Wall banger. What's happening? Snow, good morning. Yeah, so overall trading was pretty good. There was a lot of activity coming up early on the candle close yesterday. So, or, 24 hours ago from here-ish. We had some nice moves up, pushed up pretty nicely. Ended up just kind of pulling back just a little bit, nothing too crazy. And then let me show you the hourly chart, because this is what we're looking at hourly wise. Give that a second to load up a little bit. So on the bigger push, right? This comes back yesterday, right in the morning, my time, like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. We started pushing up, went sideways a little bit. Then we had a nice big move up. We attempted, the 4,000 mark. We hit it, ended up going up to 40.30. We had another candle coming at 40.38. All right, and then we started pushing down a little bit sideways, pushed back up, failed to make a higher high. So that was your swing low right there. Or not your swing low, that was your swing fail, was this guy, right? And then from there, we ended up pushing past it, right? Down a little bit, and then into like a new sideways range. Was looking at 39.66, 39.63 ballpark. So 39.66 was the 618 from the move down here. This little like reprieve in trading, and then the big push up. So just like any other trend, right? We threw the fib up, came back down, and we were figuring 39.66 was going to be the 618. On the bigger move, right? So the bigger picture was coming out of this range, right? Breaking up and taking that fib. So we went with that for a 382, 39.63. So we are, in, I don't know what the right word is. We are expecting to come back up, right? Follow the trend up, retest this high over here at the 40.38 zone. Still have targets set up top. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. Again, this is the hourly chart. So we'll play that one by ear. On our 15-minute chart, we can see that buying for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe the last 3 hours or so. Very slow though, right? We're not big moves here. 39.68. We're currently at 39.84. So really not too much to talk about there. I'll swing the daily chart up in a minute and 20 seconds. Shankar, please tell me if I'm saying that right. I would hate to just continue to pronounce your name wrong. What's up? One good thing about this season, I got to get up at 5:30 a.m. in the morning. Nice. All right. Bad Andy, what's up? What's going on? Taking a look at the candle close. Minutes, about the 1 minute chart for those that are big into scalping. They had a big push play here, which was nice. So that particular candle was up $3.50. You know, obviously nothing crazy, but if you're scalping, that's great. You get about 1% out of that. Not so bad. And since we've just leveled off, not much happening here. 5 minute chart, we did have the big move up, a nice pullback after a little bit of consolidation, and then now a little bit of a rise and a little bit of a fall. So nothing too dramatic over here. Again, this is the same range we were just talking about over here. You're looking at, you know, 39.57 or so, 39.87. All right, we have 3 seconds to close this day out. And there we have it. Okay, so the candle is closed. Let's hit up the daily chart and let's take a look at what we're dealing with here. No, we don't want any of that. That's the that's the lag. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. Everything's okay. There we go. Now much better. Sometimes I got to slow the typing down. All right, so on the larger scale, daily chart, here's what we're looking at here. We're still within our symmetrical triangle. That's this pink to red up top. Still following the trend over here, and we're still up above breakout from the other symmetrical triangle. So we're still lower than our big previous candle high. So our previous structure high is still sitting at 41.90. We haven't even come close to that yet. All right. So as far as the candle is concerned, yeah, there we go. All right. So opened at 38.97. We hit a high of 40.38. We hit a low of 38.96, and then we closed at 39.86. So closing above this right here, the high on this candle, 39.43, is actually a pretty good sign for those looking for further upside. It ended up being 2.28% or $89, however you want to look at that, okay? So again, this is that little mini sell box up here, little target zone. Now that target is below previous structure high and is below our other target up here, which would be a fall from the A. But if we backtrack this a little bit, you'll see that trend. Now, the big drop that came over here, right? This is back when we were at 64, 6,500, 64, 66 in that range for what felt like forever. We broke into this channel. When we dropped down, right, we paused for a little bit here. We paused for a little bit here. And then we came down and then we hit our median line on the new channel up here. All right, but when we did that, this little pause right here, this is good. So we ended up coming down. We pushed up a little bit of a retrace, and then continued down further. So this level ends up being, you know, slightly important now that we painted a, you know, another lower high, right? So with this move over here, this becomes the most important, right? This is the key level right here. Getting over 44.23 would finally match our actual retrace, right? So the big drop, big retrace, you know, dead cat bounce, and then push down lower for an all-time low or a yearly low, right? And then the big push back up, and now you could draw this trend, and further on. So that's what we broke out of back in middle of February. Broke out of that trend. We retested it. It became resistance, and now it's support, yada, yada, yada. This other trend line we painted once we painted this candle over here. And that's what gave us that newer trend line, the larger picture. And that's what we're sort of targeting now. If we are going to go for some higher highs and we do fail to get a higher high than this candle back over here, then I think we're going to see some resistance over on our line there. So if that happens, let's say it happens today, looking at like 40.93, ballpark area. And depending on the reaction, that could really set up some significant loss. Again, like always and everything else, we'll just have to monitor it, and we'll just look at what happens, right? So, see if any volatility came in during those last couple minutes. It looks like first 4 minutes or so, not so much. Not really. A little bit of volume on the 1 minute chart. Not doing much on the 15. A little bit of a push right now, but again, nothing too crazy. We got 15 seconds to close out the first 5 minute candle. But again, it just doesn't look like not much is happening. We're starting to lose that volatility that we get at candle close, which is a shame. It's always kind of fun. What do we got? We just closed that one out. Yeah, it looks like it. So 0.04%, up $1.50. So let's kill this chart because we know the deal. Yeah. Okay, I guess if we have to, we'll save it. That's fine, and then we'll close it. Okay, just do it. That's fine. All right, let's get back over here and let's do something real quick because we have to. All right, so what happened to G-Byte? Let's see what we got here. Not much has changed. So, again, a little bit of selling, right? Happened yesterday, right? The last 24 hours. Candle right here. All we did was we dropped a little bit. We lost 1.61%, and we found support right here on that median line again. This is our reaction line. This is our area of interest. So we sort of figured that would happen. Again, I was originally looking for this, but I guess we could probably get rid of this. Seems a little unnecessary right now. There we go. So if we do find support, then I'm still looking at this. I still want to see a reaction on this line for previous structure highs. So even if we do go up and we shoot past it, maybe come back down and retest it down on this line here and then shoot back up. And if we're going to break that channel, then again, same deal. You want to be able to make a higher high than these guys. 1, 2, 3. So you want a higher high than this right here. So it's got a lot of legwork to do yet. Not much has been happening. You are painting a bit of a pennant here. So if you were to put that on the chart like so, it would look something like this, give or take. Of course, that doesn't look all that good. Well, give or take. Something like that. If that's the case with the leg down, then we'd be looking at a bear pennant. So it would be like that. Okay? Which typically means further downside. All right? So it's something to be mindful of. If it does come down, I would just imagine that it's just going to test the bottom of the trend, channel, and pattern. All right, there's a lot happening right there. All right, so what do we got? Got in on ONT instead of hot last night. Looks bullish to me. Could WTC form a cup and handle on the daily? Let's take a look. WTC on the daily. All right, so WTC on the daily. All right, so could it be 4 minute cup and handle right here in the range? Sure. Let's take a look. No, that's a double bottom. So for a cup and handle to be valid, right, it should have a slow move down with a rounded bottom, one single bottom, and then into a smooth transition up, in which case you would reach left side cup, right side cup. Look for either a shallow, mid, or deep pullback for the handle, and then a 1-to-1 off of your pattern, right, the depth of your cup. This is a double bottom, so unfortunately that is not a cup and handle, but it is a bit of a W bottom, if you want to call it that. So if you were going to do that, it would be similar to this. W. bottom. Okay? But more importantly, and thank you for bringing our attention to this, is a break of range, right? So how much do we love breaking range? Ooh, we love it. We love it a lot. So let's take a look. Do we need to tighten this range up a little bit? There's a good drop down, test, false break, down. Bottom looks solid as far as range is concerned. I almost want to say that the range should be up a little higher. Maybe just creep it up a little bit like that. Get it to the top of these candles. Range is always kind of ballpark for me. All right. See, now you could make a case that range should be lower, like down here where these tops are. Have a little confluence over here, but yeah, this is okay. This is more of a failed attempt, false break, failed, false break, trying again. Okay, so I guess we already had targets placed here, so that's good. All right, so this is our target area after we break range. Take a look at his volume. Right, volume increasing steadily. This is on the daily chart, so this is a little bit more impressive than, let's say, the hourly or the 4-hour. Good moves up, right? This is a solid push, but a dramatic pullback. So this is kind of like a false breakout of this mid-range, this little mini range right here. If you have a massive candle and then you give it all right back, I consider that like a false break. It's almost like trading didn't even happen. So I don't pay too much attention to this. But this right here, consistent buying, a little bit of selling, a little mini pullback, no big deal. We can measure that, give an idea of just how this particular coin operates or this particular pair. So let's see, we had our big move up. So we're going like down here. And we're going to say this was our move up. And this was our pull. So our pull back on the 50. So just about the 50. As always, I would like to see a solid break and a good retest. We could see here, right, if you jumped in on this retest, nothing but losses. Nothing but losses. So patience is key if you're looking for this type of setup. Like I said, the aggressive trader is going to buy range right here, right, and could be looking at just getting stopped out. The more conservative trader is going to wait for the pullback and find confirmation of buying, and then he'll buy. He may end up buying over here. You know what I mean? It's okay. It's all right. I would much rather catch a trade. In my eyes, it would be on time, but in another trader's eyes, it might be late. But I'd rather catch the trade then with a little bit more confirmation that we're good and that this isn't going to happen. We end up losing it all. All right. RSI, pretty solid. Looking to make higher highs. Have yet to breach the 70 mark on the 14th day. So, but we do have something to look at here. First, we got this, right, which is pretty good, and then we got this. I don't know if I can even use this one. This might give me the right angle here. Let's take a look. Let's see if we can get this guy back here. It just doesn't quite hit these guys. That's a little better. All right, so that's nice. Higher lows, higher highs. What do we got? We got some confluence here. No. All right, so we got a little bit of divergence right here. 1, 2. Okay. All right, so here we go. When you got lows, right? So when you're making higher lows on the RSI, but when you're making lower lows on your price is bullish divergence. However, I don't know that we actually made. Yeah, see, that's actually lower. So this is good, right? That actually is a higher low. Over here, you had a little mini divergence, right? Because you had a higher low and then a lower low. But overall, yeah, that would be bullish hidden. Okay, so it's good. It's good. Looks all right. Thank you for that. It looks like we might be getting our little retest right now. That's great. And that's on the daily. So that's some heavy selling coming in right off the bat. Let's scope that real quick and see how the hourly looks. All right, so this started 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This started about 12 hours ago. So we had the nice push. Now we could argue that this is the retest. I'm not buying it. I don't, they're not fooling me with that. I want to see this right here. I want to see that. So we come down here. Like I said, the aggressive trader is going to buy this. All right. The patient trader, the more conservative or patient trader is going to wait. Right. I want to see a reaction. I want to see a reaction, and I want to see now. I want to see this. All right. So we crossed that line on a reaction, and I'm cool. Now that we're on the hourly chart, why don't we swing back to that other breakout? Because I would really like to see how it reacted. All right. So if we were to take, if this was trading in the next few hours, here's what would have happened. We would have broke out, would have came down. All right here, the aggressive trader would have bought. Right? Then you would have came back down, pushed a little bit further, in which case your stop probably wouldn't have gotten hit because you would have been lower, more than likely, lower than this latest swing low. Of course, this is on the hourly chart, so all that's with depending on your trading time frame. Then you would have seen this support, support, push. All right, and then you would have been pretty good about that. You would think you're okay, a little bit higher up, and then another loss again, right? And then another push. Right, sideways, sideways, sideways. So all of these were opportunities to get out, right? You never hit over here. You never hit this. You never got over that. And I guess you could technically, right, you'd be up there. So when that never happened, that should have been an indication that, you know, it's time to get out of here. Your stop is probably going to get hit. But as long as your stop is appropriate, then it's fine, okay? So this is my deal with this right now. I would be watching this, monitoring this, seeing if we're going to end up getting into the box, find support, get a reaction. We get a reaction, we push above, we break above this area right here, and then for me, that's probably go time. All right. So I may be more like this. Cool? Everybody good with that? Good. All right, BCHABC. Yeah, we'll take a look. What is your checklist for confirmation of breakouts? What would your targets be for O and T? What should we be looking at for confirmation of breakouts of any trend lines or resistance lines? So the confirmation of breakout is support, like a support reaction. Not like, you know, trade all the way down here and then we break out. No. I'm looking for a reaction. So I'm looking for selling to come down, buying to come in, should be confluent with volume, should be confluent with RSI, and for me, confirmation is this right here. Previous structure high. So you come down, now look at the selling coming in here. This is great. Solid push down, good reaction up, right? And then break of this level, previous structure high, and then I'm cool. That's my confirmation. All right. Now we do have this 1, 2, 3 level. So what could happen, we could just get this. There we go. We could just get that, which we just got. And we might not get all the way down here. And I only say that because ranges are visual. You know what I mean? There's, 1,000 different traders could put the same range on, and we might have 1,000 different, sat for sat counts. This is just eyeball range for me. But right now we're cool. We're headed in the right direction. I'm loving this right now. So this is great. This is great. Want to see that reaction? I want to see a break of previous structure high. Saint, what's up? BCHABC USD. That was a little jeez. BCHABC USD. All right. What do we got? Bitcoin, Cash, Tether, Binance, Daily. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay. Again, a chart with no history. Can't do too much with it, but sort of watch it and see what's going on. So this trend right here that was started back in December 14th. For what you could call a trend. It is a confirmed trend. That's good. It was flipped from support to resistance. So it's a flip trend, which is nice. It is attempting the breakout of trend right now, which is happening as we speak, which is also nice. So much like a breakout play, this is just breakout. Instead of breaking out a range, you're breaking out a trend, right? Unfortunately, again, anything like this that just has like very little history, there's not a whole lot to go by, but we make do with what we got. We have a trend. It was broken. It went sideways. We broke it again, and now we're retesting it. So this is cool. So let's take a look at these moves right here. See what we got here. We got a 3, we got an 8, and we got an 8. So we got just about 20%, give or take. A little bit of a pullback. We do have horizontal or some type of historical support resistance. Yeah, just that little wick down, right? So this was like your first area of support that we found during the initial dump, right? So the initial dump came. This was your first little reprieve, sideways, and then, you know, smash down. Again, you had a nice little reprieve right here. Doesn't seem to be an area we need to focus on right now. And then solid buying just to lose a little bit, sideways, lose a little bit more, sideways, lose a little bit more. So this is just a classic step down scenario here, right? So you got 1, 2, 3 steps down. That's what built our trend. So the next lower low, the next higher low, I should say, is what started our trend right here. Which we ended up finding support on a sideways breakout, so an invalid symmetrical triangle, which this technically wouldn't even be a symmetrical triangle. All the trading is up top, no trading down below, but if nonetheless it's a resistance line for the way down. Pushed out sideways, so classic stare up, right? 1, 2, 3. Came back down previous structure highs, which is this level right here, right? And that was our springboard for this move, okay? So we had this level, this 130.05 is what was holding all of this back. 130.05, 130.05, ballpark, right? Killed it, crushed it right here. This was your motivation to wake up and see what's shaking, open up the chart, see what's going on. We could see on this scale at least, you know, we do have a higher low. So we got our low, we got a higher high, higher high, higher low, currently a higher high. So we're certainly within trend. This is looking good. This is looking good. There's good volume, solid volume increasing while price is increasing. I'd imagine that this candle is going to push down to at least test trend. And then from there, we're off to the races. So levels that make sense to look for. Obviously 195, we're going to be looking for that. Let's see, we already traded above this. Should kind of be your swing candle, but this is sort of like the big drop to the loss. That was our rejection point right here, was the same wick. So we sort of already tested that. I mean, you got a little bit. You know, this whole zone was tested and failed. 174, that could pose to be an issue on the way up. Do something like that. Could be an indication. We can check how this particular coin behaves on pushes. So let's just grab this. Let's just do this real quick. Let's jump up onto this first leg right here. We got that. This came down to the 618. Let's measure this guy right here, which is going to be down from the bottom of here. Okay, so this push up came down to the 709. All right, and let's test this next push up right here. Okay, and back over here. Let's see, the big push came down 382. That's it. All right, and then you had the much larger push right here, which, well, we lost everything on that one, right? So complete dump, like 1618 to the nose. Perfect 1618 to the nose. I know we always do targets to the upside because most of these coins we can only long, but that's a perfect 1618 push down to the opposite side. So if we stuck with that, I think we had what, a 709, a 382, 618. The bigger move, find any confluence here, be this horizontal, right, would be just about the 5. And for the local move, which would be this right here, confluence, nah, that's not great because that's just floating in between the 5 and the 618. So not a great confluence line here as far as that's concerned. If we do push down and we hit trend, maybe you get a wick to 382 and then further upside. That would be okay. And let's take a look at this one more time on the far side. Really no confluence here either for trend, which is a shame. Previous structure highs, right? We're already lowering it, so there's nothing to do there unless you went with body wise, and then you might have some confluence around the 382. But yeah, that's kind of what you're looking at. I would prefer to do this for the local move. See the break of trend, come back and retest. And I may do something like, man, I'd like to go all the way down to the 618, but some of these are just shallow, and then you got to be, cognizant of trend. So, maybe something like that. Maybe something like that. Get a reaction off trend and then push up. You know what I mean? Ballpark. But trend is good. Trend is good. All right. I believe someone said O&T, right? What would be your targets for O&T? Wall banger. Let's find out. I don't know what my targets are. O&T. Let's take a look. Maybe I already got them. Okay. We should already have them. I do have a buy box down there. Guess I took all my target. No, they're there. Nope. Those are not my targets. Okay, so we need targets. All right, so what do we have here? We had a solid move up. This is the first pullback down. Let me at least get this and see what we're looking at. All right, so yeah, we sort of ran out of room on that one, right? We already just about smashed the 423, but we got the 1-6, the 2-6, and the 3-6 all in that one move. So the more dramatic play, the big play would be this. All right, so further continue. Now we do have a swing fail right here. We did fail to make a new high, so keep this in the back of your head. This right here is a fail, so watch out for that play. And my targets on the upside would be 33.70. I like to front run a little bit because I do. So we'll just call it 33.35. Within that zone right here. Okay. So that would be target area. Now we do have these pink lines here, and someone's gonna have to remind me when I do those to never do those again unless I like jot down what I'm doing. I suppose this is previous structure. That's probably what I did here. I think we can get rid of that now. We can get rid of that. We could probably get rid of all of this, right? Yes, no. Not even sure anymore. I don't know what we did here. Oh, that was our bottom. All right, that's how we got our buy box. 618 from the move. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so now we have targets. It's a little bit cleaner. Let's take a look at what this thing is actually doing. What is it telling us? We got a breakout of volume down here. Good push up. That's what gave us our higher high. That was nice. Way less volume yesterday. Didn't even break average. And that's what gave us our fail, right? So swing fail low. This looks like this would have been a swing fail instead. Now we can do that because it's a little bit higher. So again, another swing fail. On the local side, the micro trend, you know, we got a low, we got a high, we got a higher low, we got a higher high, we got a higher low. So push for another higher high. And that would be on the micro trend, right? So we'll have to play that by ear and see what we got going on here. The much larger trend would show you a high, a low, and fail to make a higher high. So we can actually do that. You know what I'm saying? And then you could push the whole thing down. So it's something more like that. Okay. Which will give you, now that'll give you a symmetrical triangle, right? This touch would have been nice, but we didn't get it. So one touch, two touch, one touch, two touch, three touch. So three touch bottom, two touch top. I don't really count these touches if they're that close to each other. Just consider that a cluster. And if that's the case, then that's fine. You can get rid of this too. There we go. Now it's a little bit cleaner. So this is what we're looking at. It took a long time to get right here, but we're here. We're here now. So this is why we celebrate. All right, so on a full front run, 32.66, what did we say? 33. We'll go about the middle of the range. 33.28. We'd be looking at about 61%. So overall, at the end of the day, really not bad at all. If you're going to play the pattern, again, all rules apply. Push up, out, retest, and then push further. We already have our targets set. Okay? So that's what I got for ONT. That would be my target. 30, we call it 33. Let's call it 33.21 because I like it. Right? All right. ADA, BTC on Binance, please. No problem. In this case on BCH, ABCUSDT. We don't have a higher high on the previous structure to confirm the breakout. How do you confirm for a breakout? Hold on. BCH. What do you got? I gotta try to read this. BCH. Right. ABC. USD. Okay. So what are you asking now? We don't have a higher high on previous structure. How do you confirm the breakout? Same deal. You say it's the exact same thing, right? So your higher high is right here. So smash, push, smash, push. That's a technical term, by the way. It's called smash and push. This is what you're looking for. You're looking to get higher than your previous high. So it's this right here. It's just back to the zero line. All right. So if you could do this, bang. So you cross that line after seeing a reaction on trend, then that's the conservative play, right? So you're buying up here. If you're just trading the trend line, so if you're just trading the trend line, tail down a little bit, then you're buying the reaction, right? So, like for me, range trading is it's just that you're in a range. So you've been sideways for so long, you're not in a trend. Trend trading is different. Trend trading, you have confluence of trend. Trend is on your side. So it's less aggressive to buy the trend because you're just buying the pullback. Range trading or buying a breakout from range is totally different. The psychology behind it is as different as it could be. You don't have all your previous history in range is just sideways action. A little up, a little down, a little up, a little down, a little up, a little down. Like there's nothing going on there. This, you have history. This is trend trading. Trend trading is very different, right? You got a low, you got a high, right? You got a higher low, you got a higher high. You got, barely a higher low, right? And then you got a higher high. So we are in trend. We're in trend. So the confluence is trend, right? So you feel better about taking this move right here because you're buying a pullback. Okay, you're either buying a pullback or you're buying a retest. All right, so like retest theory, right? So you're taking the trend that already exists and you're buying it. And you're basically hedging the fact that you're within trend, and it's always easier to stay in trend than it is to break trend. All right. So that's. I hope that helps. Did that help? Let me know if it helped. I know I was gonna look at something. Wait, check this out. Check this out. There you go. Huh? I'm on. Okay. Anyway, it's the little things in life. All right, so ADA, that's what it was. ADA BTC, a little Cardano action. ADA BTC, Binance, bang. Okay, it's an ugly chart, but don't worry about it. All right, we have obviously looked at this one before. This was our kind of our double nasty range zone. This is sort of the thick of it. This is the ugly range that we have to break out of first, which is this right here. We have broken, which was nice. We did push this, right? So we had our 0 to 1 up top over here, right? So this was our target areas. So we did just about hit the 2618. We can get rid of that. We can get rid of all of this nonsense. All right. So we did just about hit that 2618. This is why I front run stuff, right? So 1303, we got to 1299. All right. So if you front ran it, congratulations. You got a decent move here. Let's see. I don't know what our buy was. Our buy would have been off of the pullback. So let's just say we got it like halfway up. We'll be nice to ourselves. And let's say we front run it even more than it was. So 12%. I'm not crying. That's great. Got a little curl down RSI. Didn't quite hit 70, which is good. So we might do a double move here, which is fine by me. Again, this is for the more aggressive traders that are trading within range. So range trading, right? So you have the larger range and then the smaller range. So for me, I'm not doing much range trading right now. I wouldn't personally take that, but that's just me. You could have easily taken this, and that's why we threw it on the chart for, someone to look at, analyze, and then make the decision if they wanted to take it. This right here, I would like to see a reaction on the top of this range. Again, previous structure. Not so much over here, previous structure, but basically top of range. Top of range, come up and over, blast through that 2618, smack your head on the 3618, come down for a retest, push up and over, and then I'm in. All right? Top of that range is the one I care about. And that range is terrible. It's kind of terrible. We got this. I mean, honestly, that range should be a lot lower. Let's see. I don't know. I'm looking at like these bodies. So this is sort of like the fail point. This was another fail point. This was another fail point. I might do that. I feel better about that. Which is nice because it's confluence with the 2618. So that's even better. That's great. That's great. All right, so I want to see that. Okay. I would like to see reaction top of range. Aggressive traders will buy the top of the range and they will expect a push up to at least previous structure highs, which is this right here, which is confluence with the 3618, which is just nice all the way across the board. A little bit of resistance, pull back and retest the top of the bigger range, and then come in and try to make some moves till we get back to, like, you know, these areas up here. All right, that's that. Okay. All right, Saint still in O&G and when? Feels bad. Feels bad. Feels bad, man. O&G and when? You're still in those? O&G. 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 Whoa, jeez. O&G. Dear Lord, there's no history here. I remember looking at this. I was not impressed with the history. That is for sure. All right, so what were we looking at? It certainly wasn't the daily chart. Maybe the hourly? Maybe the hourly. I don't know. That doesn't even look like me. Probably the 4 hour. All right, so if we were looking at the 4 hour chart, we would have looked. No, can't be that. Let's go back to the hourly. All right, the hourly chart. Fine. So we had a big push up, broke down, came down, no man's land, 618, 709, pushed back up, resistance at the 382, found support at the 709. We had a falling wedge, broke up, failed, came down, sideways over, and now we just created a range. On what? The hourly chart. So, range on hourly, a little less impressive, but it's a range nonetheless. Let's see, a little false breakout here. I don't know if I want to. Nah, not really. It's going to be more like this. Yeah, something like that. That's our new range, and it's just an hourly range, so don't give it a whole lot of love. One attempt to push it, well, 2 attempts to push up, found support on it, lost it, created a new level of support on the 886. Tried one attempt to push up over to the 786. I might as well slide this over, so all this makes a little bit more sense. Something like that. Get this out of here so I can see. Okay. So, yeah, we have a range. Ping pong. 786, 886. Down, up. Sideways, up, down, up, down, up, down, 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 down. You got a little squeeze factor happening right here. Right? You got a descending triangle that just broke up out of. Pushed again to top of range, failed. Yeah, it's not great. But do know this. Okay, there are coins out there that trade off of the 886. And that is what you're on, the 886. So in that regard, it's okay. You had these big moves up here, massive moves, coming off of this whole area of nothing. So, you know, really not bad. It's not a great situation. I would hope you had a stop loss. If you did, it's probably under the 886. So, I mean, I wouldn't worry about it. But any coin with you know, a day of history or a month, there's just not enough. There's not enough to go by here. We just don't know how this coin reacts, which is unfortunate. The last time we had like any type of retrace was this move up here, which probably is a 50%, give or take. So yeah, overall, at least volume's on your side, less volume sideways and down. So exhaustion in trend is an idea that you could push up to at least make a move to the upside, try to get up to the 618, maybe find historical resistance between the 618 and the 5. So that's something. What'd you say, WAN? You're in WAN. Okay, WAN's all right. WAN's all right. So we got double range, lower range, upper range. Upper range was much longer ago. Creeping around December. We lost it in late January 27th. But this is good. This is a good push up. Pull back, which is nice. Another push up, higher high. Pull back. 618. This would be my buy target. I wouldn't change anything. Top of range. Ugh. Well, something like that. Top of range. Finding support near the 618. I'm cool with that. I have absolutely no problems with this at all. I don't want to go any lower than this guy. So don't want to be any lower than 990. All right, that's when you start getting into the fail to make a higher low situation. So that's not good. That would be support on the 786. So right now we got large candle, large volume, small candle, half the volume. And I know we only just started this day, but trading has come in on the selling side. So this is okay. We find support on the 709, or we retest the 618 and push back up, or even if we find support at the 786. Okay, tight squeeze, but let's see the overall larger move here, which would be this play right here. So the bigger move is perfect support on the 382. Okay, almost sat for set. And the elongated larger move, which would go back to just previous lows, we haven't even hit the 382 yet. All right, so this is fine. Not worried about this. Don't worry about it. Set your stops. If the trade don't go your way, and you get another trade. All right, let's see. Gotta remember, smash and push. That's not technical. Let's see. IOST buy targets. IOST. Let's see. IOST. Daily chart. Wow. We have not charted this. Huh. Good times. All right. Well, let's get ready to roll. Start on the weekly. Let's get our horizontal. All right. So, solid reversal point right here. You take that on the body. Another solid reversal point right here. That's good. Looks like came down. A little bit of hesitation right here. I'm not sure we're going to mark that just yet. We reach for another high. This could be an area, a little area of interest, but nah. I think we'll just keep this for now. That's fine. Nothing too crazy here. Trend. Clearly down. Not much to look at there. Alright, so let's see how this thing reacts. Could push up and down. Let me do something real quick here. I'm gonna measure this bigger move. Let's see what's shaking. Alright, so the small move 382, the big move 382, the much bigger move overall, not even the 382, shallow. Alright, so let's go back in here and come over here. full on 1-to-1. Okay, not great. All right. What do we got? All right, so trend fail break, trend fail break, trend fail break. So you can do all those with these, where you would essentially give yourself, you know, a little bit of a trend. Once you break it, you sell it. Once you break it, you sell it. And once you break it, you sell it. Alright, this is the only one that actually respected a retest. The other one's just dumped. And of course, these aren't perfect. This is just this quick by eye. Nothing nuts. So it's here. Okay, anyway. Came down this. So it tried to do a little Adam and Eve bottom. Didn't quite pull the pattern off. So you kind of had like that little V bottom and then the little rounded bottom, but nah, it failed on that. So it's not really respecting patterns all that well. That's for sure. All right, but we do have an A, B, C, D here. So A, B, C, D. So we did have our ABC. That's good to know. We do have a symmetrical triangle right here. So we can paint that in real quick. Do something like this. This. That-ish. Okay. Okay, our sign down. Looks like you're like flying a kite here. All right, so I mean overall we're within an uptrend. It's not the prettiest of uptrends, but it's okay. You got your low. You got a higher high, you got a higher low, you got a higher high, you got a higher low, you got a lower high, so possible swing failure right here. Let's see this pullback, the larger one. So let's go down to the bottom here. Let's get right up to this guy, come down a little bit. Pull back to the 5. Okay. This pullback right here is either 886 or worse. Let's check this pullback right here. So we come in from the bottom, right? And we're measuring this move up to here. Okay. We're coming right here from the top. We want up and down. Found support on the 618. Okay. And then from there we have failed to make a higher high. We still have room in the zone though, so it's, you know, it's not overall that big a deal. But it's a deal nonetheless. Let's see if we got any trend over here. Not really. At least not a good one. Yeah, not a good trend at all. Don't force the trend. If it ain't there, it ain't there. All right, so technically speaking, you're in an uptrend, right? Local uptrend. Clearly local because this thing is kind of falling apart here. But you are within this this area. I don't even know what you want to call it. But the beginning stages of this mess over here. Historical, horizontals, right here, into effect. Right now, 1, 2, 3, 4 days of resistance, 5 days of resistance. So that's something to take a look at. The swing fail is not great, but it is what it is. Nothing we can do about that. And right now you're playing a symmetrical triangle. So you're playing this, you're playing it properly, then you're going top to bottom, bottom to top. So top, bottom, top, bottom. We would expect to see another move to the top side. If at that point it breaks, then you either buy the retest or you just buy the break. Same thing on the downside, right? If it ends up breaking down below, that would be a sell short or buy short sale. Previous structures. Yeah. So right now you're currently trading under previous structures. So I mean it doesn't overall. I don't think it looks very good. That don't mean much. It's just that it's an ugly trend. It's not a great trend. It is a trend. It's just not a great trend. Reversing price. So price action and reversing, finding a pivot point to drop lower without making a higher high is rarely ever a good thing. So I would personally, I would stay away from this. There's nothing going on here just yet. I would watch for a break up. But that would be it. This thing could, make a new lower low. For all I know. But yeah, that's IOST. So, all right, what do we got? BTC is dropping again. Looks like 39.68. Yep, fairly large candle down. Let's see. How do you scan your alts using the price action for swing trades, if not done already in previous videos? So for swing trades, again, I'm looking over here for what's moving, right? So I might do like a 3-day. I'll still set up for gains, right? And then I'll look like if I'm going to get into a swing trade, like 1 to 3, 1 to 5, 1 to 7 day, those types of trades, then I'll probably be buying on a pullback off of something a little bit larger. So if you have a large move up, you just touched down on the 618, something like that could pique my interest. In which case I could try to buy that pullback and buy within trend, right? So that's just trend trading, but that could take multiple days. So that in line, that would be the swing trade because it's it's not intraday and it's not scalping. Something like that. All right, so you feel better now. All right, good, Saint. Sounds good. Something I've noticed is when you have that triangle, say on the 4 hour, towards the end of the triangle, when the candles hug, say the top, more tendencies to break up, and opposite for the bottom. Maybe more in a descending wedge, but IOST is hugging the bottom and ONT is hugging the top. So, like patterns, the way patterns generally work, it should be a valid pattern to start. All right. And by valid, I do mean you should have the proper touches. It should be drawn correctly. Also, you need context to the pattern, right? A pattern within trend, right? So because we're within a local uptrend, we are expecting a break to the upside, right? These have a tendency to break north in an uptrend, have a tendency to break south in a downtrend. Very similar to a bull pennant or a bear pennant. So if you wanted to, which I don't, but I will, if you wanted to do that, then fine. Now you got your flagpole, you got your bull pennant, but it's more than that. But I'm just saying, if you're only hugging the bottom, right, over here, if you never make another move up top over here, chances are that's going to break to the downside. You know what I mean? Because you haven't even made the attempt up. You gave up. So you've already lost the pattern. And for symmetrical triangles, which is this right here, right? Pattern should be between 50 and 75% is your breakout. Anything past that lessens the accuracy or lessens the move out of the pattern. So the closer you get to the apex, the worse off that pattern play is. And at the apex, it's already invalidated. The entire pattern's invalidated. Now you just have a trend. That's all you have. The psychology behind it is that you have buyers and sellers are narrowing the gap, right? They're narrowing the playing field. They get closer and closer and closer to equilibrium, to at which point one of them's going to give. All right, and they're going to give, so you're like, they're constricting and constricting and constricting price so tight, just like Bollinger Bands. So tight, if you ever heard the term squeeze, right? They're squeezing the price, and then it's going to smash. One way or another, it's going to go. More often than not, within an uptrend, you're looking at an upside gain, and within a downtrend, you're looking at a downside gain. Sideways range, and you draw something like that, then it's anybody's guess. It could break either way. Now, this could break to the south side, like I said. That's totally possible, but it would be not expected. It would be more within reason. Let's just say if it broke to the upside. All right. So always remember, if you're going to draw the pattern, draw it correctly. That's a big deal. All right, and then understand the rules behind it. Understand what makes this thing tick. Why is this a thing? You know what I mean? Why did we start trading up here? We came down here, found support. We pushed back up. We found resistance. Came back down, found support. What happens if we test it again? Are we going to find resistance again? Right? So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and then bang? Maybe. All right, but it's something to be aware of. If this is just trickling and trickling, and it's just kind of like hovering on the trend without really doing any trading up here, then you would expect this thing to just kind of fall off a cliff, and just do one of those, because there's nothing happening here. The buyers are no longer interested. Even though you're buying and you're going on an uptrend, they're not interested enough to make an attempt for a breakout. So it's actually, pretty bearish. All right. So that's that. Should we leave this on here for giggles? No, let's get that out of here. All right, cool. Let's do, what time is it? 8 o'clock. All right. So that should wrap it up. Let's do one more chart, and then and that'll be a wrap. I hate to just leave, so let's do one more, and then we'll call it a day. OMG was a descending wedge, falling wedge, wallbanger. I'm gonna nitpick your nomenclature. So triangles, you have a descending triangle and an ascending triangle. And wedges, you have a rising wedge and you have a falling wedge. All right, so you would have something like this. Boink. Right? That would be your ascending. And then this would be your descending. All right? And then for wedges, you would just simply have, something like that, and like that. Basically, that would be your rising, right? And then your falling would simply be something very similar. Something like that. Okay? That's it. Now you learn something new every day. So lucky you. Lucky you! Snow, you can't focus today. What? Falling wedge, I'm still a noob. It's all good. We're all new. The flag triangle for sure is different, but more towards the end. The flag triangle. If you're talking like a bull flag, so a bull flag is this. A bull flag is that. Okay, a bull pennant is different. Okay? Well, more like that. So a bull flag, price comes up, finds a high, and trades the same depth, same size candles basically, within a parallel channel. And then, generally speaking, because it is called a bull flag, that's what you're looking at. Which in turn is nothing more than an A, B, C, D. Right? Look at all the learning you get today. Oh, nice. Now a bull pennant is different. So a bull pennant, you're looking at like a symmetrical triangle. Oh, don't do all that. Okay, well, we'll leave it because it's starting to mess with me. Symmetrical triangle with a break here. Okay. Sometimes you'll get it all the way at the end of the apex, but typically you'll get it in like somewhere between 50 and 75 ballpark, which again is really nothing more than an ABCD. It's just a little bit sloppier. Okay? Because you got all this mess over here. So this may actually like come down a little more. Something like that. Alright? So there you go. Bull flag, bull pennant. Turn them upside down. You got a bear flag, bear pennant. Snow can't focus. Bad Andy, thank you for everything. It's really appreciated. It's my pleasure, man. It's my pleasure. I know my terminology is awful. That's fine. Who cares? People do this, right? They take the little thing here and they're like, yeah, price is going to do this. And they just call it a squiggly. And it's good. Right? That passes. You call it whatever you want. Call it whatever you want. But know that it does it does actually have a name. And if it has a name, it probably has some rules or guidelines to go with it. All right, so somebody spit out a chart, and we'll do one last chart, and then that'll be a wrap for me. So what do you got? Who's first here? Just seen ONT going up and IOST going down. Oh, we already did ONT. That doesn't count. It doesn't count. Doesn't count. That's not up. It's not up. That is not buying. It's not buying. Anyone? No one? Alright, then we will do, then I will pick. Let's see. Let's go, we're getting towards the end of the week, so let's hit up the 7. Let's see what the movers were for the week. Peak gain. Alright, so ONG, Tether, not enough information, but solid moves up. 88% up, sitting literally on the 618. Pretty incredible stuff. Qdom, 62 up, 63% retrace, 205. Excellent volume. Hot tether pair. Good uptrend, 30 and 1. Not enough trading information here. 30% pop up, sitting on the 27 zone. FET, again, not enough information here. All new listings. BCH ABC, we already looked at. Knowles, okay. Well, it's either Knowles or XLM. Let's do XLM. XLM is much bigger. 26% pop up, 7 days. Currently lost 20% of it. We are trending good from the 30 to the 6. Sideways slightly bullish on the 12, 5, and 15. Daily yet to be converted. XLM USDT. All right. This worked out well. All right. So we have our buy box down. Low. Down here. That's great. Our targets are probably hit, I would imagine. Look where I found resistance. Right on the horizontal support resistance. That's excellent. Let's figure out what our targets would be. We probably used this. I need a better system for like remembering targets. Like usually color code everything, but I do everything different when I stream. So targets would have been the 2618. That was achieved. The 3618. That was achieved. And the 423. That was achieved. So yippity doo dah. This was a good trade. Front run the 423 a little. You don't even have to. This one actually hit the 423, but I keep it consistent. So 36% gains. That's great. All right, now that is slightly exhausted. So what's the next play here? We had our big move, big move, big move. So this big move here. Let's see, we had a big move and then a pullback. And then this move and then that pullback. All right, so we're still within our little broadening wedge. Oh, there's another one for you. Broadening wedge, right? It's still a wedge. It's just not narrowing down, right, at the ends, right? It's getting further and further apart. So this is broadening, right? This is a broadening wedge. Historical is going to be a little bit of a nuisance here, and that's okay. I'm not worried about that. We're still rightfully within trend for sure. We have our A, B, C, D. So we have a nice, beautiful A, B, C, D action here. I'm going to actually pull from down here, and I'm going to get the larger move. All right, so I'm taking the bottom of the push. All right, we're on a daily chart, and I'm looking at information from 7 days of trading. Okay, 7 days of trading. I'm cool with, let's see, if we don't make it past here, let's say between the 50 and the 618 gets us right back to our previous horizontal support resistance, confluence with previous structure highs. Yeah. Right on trend. All right, so if this happens, that would be great. Be looking at price to fall down. Seems like a lot, but all the way down to the 618 off of this big move. Previous structure highs, horizontal support resistance in between the 50 and the 618, confluence with trend. All that being said, target-wise, I'm looking at a 2618, previous structure high, swing high before the low, so that's cool. 3618, front run that to this tip right here. That would probably work out a little bit better if we do continue to have consistent highs. And the 423, which is this little congestion zone over here. I would bet you one of these guys right there. Okay, so this, not really. It's kind of your swing high, but it's not great. It's not great. It's not real good confluence with much of anything, but target nonetheless based off of the pullback. All right, so if this pans out, let's say we bought trend 2618, 35%. If it plays out, that gets us within top of pattern, so we're cool on that. We could probably draw a new trend here eventually, so that we have something to go off of, a little bit more respecting of current price action. So something more like this should give us a better indication of, you know, if you're going to front run something, better indication of where to get out. Okay, so if this takes a week to get down here, I'm totally fine with that. And if it takes a week to get up here, I'm totally fine with that as well. I'll monitor this trade, and if it does do this, then that's my buy target. All right, and then I'll be looking at this. Okay, so that's it. That's a wrap. What do we got? I mean the 4 hour. Thanks. You are very welcome. You are all very welcome. Thank you for all being here. I do very much appreciate it. You know, this is going to be a level over here. So, let's see here. Let's do this as well. Just an area of interest. It's a large front run, but, you know, it's something to look at. If this makes the play on March 23rd, then I will play the new trend with the previous structure high. How's that sound? All right. But yeah, so I do very much appreciate you guys being here. Always appreciate you guys showing up, hanging out, going over some charts. So more confluences, chances of hitting your target is better. I think so. I think so. You can have like too many things to check for. And that can be very confusing, where you might have, you know, 3 things say long, 1 thing says short. You end up not taking the trade because you're looking at far too many things. But anytime you have confluence in something, then that's usually a good thing. So if I have a checklist of 4 things that I'm required to look at, they all need to say go long, and they all say go long, I feel better about that trade. I could put my entry in, I could throw stops in, and I can make the trade with more confidence. Even if the trade doesn't go the right way, I simply throw it in my journal. Why did it fail? What did it fail on? And that's something that I can learn from in the next trade, using that information going forward to see how that helps my overall trading. If it does go correct, then again, that's one more time that those 3 things or those 4 things all met the criteria and it was a winning trade. So if you start building a strike rate for your trading strategy or your trading plan, then you can certainly feel better about managing those trades and not having to, forego sleep that night because you're in a trade that's going the wrong way. You feel okay about it. When you hit this line and you retest, and then for example, now I'm just rambling, but for example, right, we had this nice big move, big solid move. We had a nice pullback. All right, then we had a real nice move up, little pullback with a nice move, and then a big pullback. This was our buy box. So what happened? We bought over here, and then we had one day up, and then down, and then sideways, 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 sideways. Broke our trend, right? Because we drew our trend using these 2 anchor points. All right, sideways, 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 before finally breaking our high from the low. Right, so we bought, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Took 13 days just to get over our 618. Or not our 618. Well, you know what I'm saying. Right? But one, having the patience, and two, having the confluence and the confidence to be in this trade is fine. It's no problem, right? 2 weeks go by and you're still sideways. It's okay. I'm still banking on my 1618. You know, that's the plan. Now we had different targets. I think up here was like the 3618 or whatever, and then up top was the 423. But you understand the psychology is the same. You feel okay with the trade, you're confident in the trade, you make your entry, and that's it. You don't have to keep watching it and biting your fingernails every day that goes by that it didn't make you, 50, 60, 70, 80%. Right? You're still in this trade. The trade's fine. Trade's fine. Going sideways, but it's fine. You haven't lost trend yet. It's fine. You had a false breakout. You push back up. You're back in trend. Everything's okay. There's no reason to get emotional about this. Just let the trade do its thing. Came up, smack, right? You hit your target, pull your profits, everybody's happy. Okay? All right. There's your little lesson for the night. Where do you put your stop loss? If this case XLM, you have a notebook, journal, or something online. This notebook, old school style. I know. I got good trading friends that use. Oh man, it's something that sounds like it's spelled wrong. If I think about it, I'll try to remember to put it in the comments. I think it's one word, 2 syllables, and it sounds like it sounds like they pronounced the word wrong. Edge wonk. That's what it is. Because you would think edge work, but it's not. It's edge wonk. Yeah, terrible. All right, so on this particular trade, if I was going to take this trade here, so let's see, I got my 0 line, I got my 1 line. I'm buying the 618. So I would be looking at previous structure highs, which is this little guy right here, this little anomaly, right? And some sort of confluence with either 786 or 886, depending on how much I want to risk on the trade. So first thing I do is I set my buy target. Second thing I do, I look for stop loss, right? So my stop loss on here, if I'm buying a 618, the 786 is a little too close. You have to adjust for this style of trading, this giant wick, that giant wick, that giant wick, that giant wick, these giant. So look at the coin to give you an indication of how it trades. If it trades with very little wicks, then my stop might be the 786. But I wouldn't do that on this particular one because these wicks are too ginormous. So for me, I would probably take a look at previous structure highs, which are these right here. And I would say, okay, the 786 is my closest, right? I'm going to go just under that because of the wicks. I'm going to go just under that. So I might go with these highs, right? Body candle highs, ballpark. This is also testing previous area of purchase, right? This was a huge drop down. So I might be going right about here. This is your swing low. All right, so this candle came down. Swing low, all right, and then this was the candle that pushed you up. This is the candle that got you your higher high. So this candle right here, that's where I'm putting my stop. And I'll put it at the bottom of the candle body close. It's right here. Just like that. Now I have to do this and say, okay, if I buy, let's say I buy the 618, and it's right here. Okay, and then let's say I get stopped out. That's this right here. So that's an 8% loss. So to keep this brief, if I went in with 100% of my capital and I took an 8% loss, I would never do that. I would take a 2% loss maximum. So for quick math, let's just say, right, that it's 8%. Right, so then I would take 25% of my capital, lose 8% on 25% of my capital, and that should be less than 2% of my overall capital. All right, obviously you got to break out a calculator and do a little bit of math for your calculations, but you get the idea. You don't ever want to lose more than 2% of your capital on any trade. That's kind of a global, that's not mine. That's kind of like a global thing. Your risk management is going to dictate sort of what you allow. Obviously, you know, the less the better. So the less you're risking, the less you have out on the table, the better. So let's say your account had $100 in it and you don't want to lose 8%, obviously. So let's say you just threw $25 at the trade. This way, if you lost 8% of $25, it shouldn't be any more than $2 is what you're looking for, right? $2 on a 100% count would be 2%. Okay? But every trade, the process is the same. Every trade, I look for where am I going to put my stop at? Where is my entry? If my entry gets hit, what am I going to be stopped out at if it goes the wrong direction? After it goes the wrong direction, how much did I lose? That's how much I'm going to put into the trade. All right. And then some patterns are built in, you know, like a head and shoulders. You have like a stop is sort of like already dictated. Cup and handle, you got a stop that's kind of like already dictated. Now people adjust those to how they see fit, but you know, you got to develop your own system that is going to work for your risk management. Same thing with harmonic patterns, right? Or like the butterfly, the bat, the Gartley, the shark, the cipher. Like all those patterns have like a built-in stop. You know, like 5%, 10%. Usually it's 4x, so it's like 10 pips below X. You know, and that's where you're getting stopped out. So it's kind of just a known thing. It's built into the rules of the pattern. Again, you adjust it to you see fit, but what you should be adjusting is the capital that you throw at it. You know what I mean? You don't want to put 100% of your capital in any trade, period, ever. So you just have to keep that in mind. All right? All right, now that's it. All right, so again, thank you everybody for being here. I do very much appreciate it. And tomorrow, weekly candle close. So super exciting time. Should see you then. So that'll be great. That'll probably be a very short one, but we will talk about the weekly. We'll talk about who's made moves over the week. It's not a guarantee that I will be streaming, but I should be. We'll see. All right. So that'll be that. And until then, I want to see you guys on the exchanges. Wallbanger, I want you to get your nomenclature down pat. I'm going to test you next time, and then we'll take it from there. All right. Happy trading, everybody.